Glasses are filthy. I can't see anything out of them. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel where I cover nostalgic, obscure, or otherwise strange content. Last week when I covered the Magical Legend of the Leprechauns double feature, both those movies that were made by Hallmark, a lot of people recommended that I cover another movie made by Hallmark that was very bizarre in the same year, actually, 1999, and that is Alice in Wonderland. They did an Alice in Wonderland rendition with a bunch of famous actors in it. Gene Wilder's in it, Whoopi Goldberg is in it, just like she was in Magical Legend of the Leprechauns. Martin Short is in it, Robbie Coltrane, all these people. So I watched it, and it's a lot. It's a whole lot. And so we're gonna get into it now. We got a lot of movie to cover. This is over 2 hours long. And it's Alice in Wonderland, so like a lot happened, so it'll probably be kind of a longer but fast-paced video. Right off the bat, we see Alice having an existential crisis because she's dreading this singing performance that she has to do at this party that her parents are throwing. I know this is a metronome, but it like looks like the Pit and the Pendulum, the Edgar Allan Poe book. Very scary.
I can't do it. I can't sing.
It's just stage fright.
And she like tells everybody, I can't do it. And they're like, well, tough, because you're gonna do it. We're bigger than you, and we say you have to sing.
Whatever happens, flood or earthquake, the show must go on.
Yep, been there. I actually really love the opening credits because it shows like this like camera movement through like all of her toys and stuff, and it like preludes everything in Wonderland. It's kind of like in Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, where you see like all the toys in Christopher Robin's room, but like scarier. And then we see all of these people who are guests at the party. We're also supposed to prelude all the characters in Wonderland. And you, sir, would you like it? Nope. Okay, that's fine. Don't sneeze on the sandwiches!
How can they expect me to sing in front of all these strangers?
So Alice has major stage fright. She runs away. Because why deal with your problems when you can run from your problems? And of course, she sees none other than the White Rabbit, who is a very nervous Nellie.
Oh dear!
I do not care for the White Rat. He's very terrifying to me. The way that he moves in like such a jerky manner, it kind of reminds me of the Crooked Man from, what, the Conjuring movies? Conjuring 2? Reminds me of that. I don't like it. She chases him down the rabbit hole. She falls a very long way.
I wonder what latitude and longitude I've got to.
This kid is so chill. I've always thought this. I cannot imagine being this chill at 8 years old, falling down a hole in the ground.
Please, ma'am, is this New Zealand or Australia?
I do like that they're taking bits right from the book dialogue.
How do I get out?
She ends up locked in a room. It kind of reminds me of the Haunted Mansion room with no windows and no doors. There's doors, but they're all locked. She finds a little tiny door, and through it she sees a giant garden.
If only I was smaller.
And she's like, oh, look at that pretty garden. Too bad I'm not 4 inches tall. Damn. And then she sees the bottle that says drink me and takes a gamble that it's not poison.
This bottle's not marked poison.
Kid has more confidence in herself than I've ever had. She shrinks down really tiny and she can't reach the key. And then she eats the cookies that make her really tall.
I'm stuck.
Kneel down! You're not stuck!
Oh, the Duchess will be absolutely savage.
Ah! God. He keeps popping up.
Well, fortunately, I speak both crying and sobbing fluently.
So do I. So she cries an actual river and then shrinks down and has to swim through her own tears. Isn't that metal?
Mr. Mouse!
She follows a little mouse who turns into a person.
What am I going to talk about? What am I going to do?
Oh yeah, and this is a semi-musical.
Not new.
I love when things turn into surprise musicals. This guy is preparing to give a lecture, all these people show up.
The patriotic Archbishop of Canterbury found it advisable to go with Edgar offering to...
No, I wasn't sleeping. So not only is everybody bored to death, but poor Alice is like about to catch pneumonia. She just swam like a mile in her clothes.
Caucus, please.
So they do a caucus race. I feel like I'm just explaining to you Alice in Wonderland, which everybody knows, but I hope as you're watching this, you're seeing the increased ridiculousness that I'm showing you in this particular rendition, because it is something spectacular. The caucus race is just a bunch of adult humans running around amongst these giant books for no reason.
They're all cheating.
Is that what you're worried about? I don't think there's any point to this at all. I don't think it matters if anybody cheats or wins.
Who's going to give the prizes?
Why, Elise, of course.
And then they're all like, give us a present. So she just gives them like, I don't know, it looks like Tic Tacs. Pretty sure they didn't have those in the 1880s.
I think it's time we were all in bed.
So then they all leave and abandon this child. And then the white rabbit comes back.
Oh, my fur and whiskers.
How have they created this rabbit? Is it a person in a costume who is then like animated on top of? Is that why it looks so bizarre?
Run home and fetch me another pair of gloves and a fan.
He asks her to go to his house. Well, he tells her to go to his house and bring him new white gloves and a fan. So she does, because she's a very nice person.
Frederick Rabbit's house.
She finds his house in a book. It's a very cottagecore house.
I'm sure it will make something interesting happen.
And inside she drinks some more potion. Why did I just get a flashback to the little wax bottles with the liquid, the colored liquid that you're supposed to drink out of? I used to get those on Halloween. They were disgusting and I loved them. Anyway, off topic.
Dear, what am I going to do?
The potion makes her giant again. The way that her hands and feet grow first is really disconcerting. The rabbit gets scared and falls down. Like a million times.
I'm too rich. I can't afford to die.
Spoken like a true rich person. So then these two guys try to help the rabbit get the now giant little girl out of his house, to no avail.
There goes Bill.
Poor Bill. They throw a bunch of pebbles at her that turn into little tiny cupcakes that she eats, and it makes her shrink down tiny again because Wonderland is a trip. And I will say one genuine criticism I have is that I wish all of these segments were just slightly shorter. They all go on for like a couple minutes too long. Like, this is over 2 hours of a movie. It could be shorter than this, but anyway. She moves on, very tiny now, from the rabbit's house. She gets chased by a giant dog. I don't believe we see the Jabberwocky in this version, which is a shame. You could make Alice in Wonderland like an honest-to-God horror movie, and I really want to see that, especially with the incorporation of the Jabberwocky.
Sir, who do I have the honor of addressing?
Major Caterpillar.
Oh my god, look, it's the caterpillar.
I'm not myself, you see.
No, I don't see.
It's very confusing.
Why?
The conversation between Alice and the caterpillar always gives me anxiety.
And yet you incessantly stand on your head.
I like that when she recites the poem, it kind of like shows up in these like wispy smoke clouds. It's a nice touch.
You missed 5 verses.
I'm afraid that's what always happens when I have to perform.
Same, girl. I've been doing this channel for almost 2 years, and it feels like I turn on the camera and I forget everything I wanted to say.
Gad, whoa!
Oh god! I feel like I can't look directly at him. He's so shiny.
One side will make you taller. The mushroom.
Alright, she takes a couple pieces off the magic mushroom. That sounded like it was a drug reference. It wasn't. I don't think it was. Anyway, she's now normal size again. And this is kind of the first segment that they add that they did not have if you remember the Disney version. I think I've mentioned in previous videos that I go back to the Disney version constantly because I love it.
For the Duchess.
She shows up at the Duchess's house. I cannot talk. Oh my god. She shows up at the Duchess's house.
From the Queen, an invitation for the Duchess to play croquet.
Okay.
An invitation to play croquet from the Queen for the Duchess.
Okay.
It's an invitation from the Queen for the Duchess to play croquet.
I wouldn't put it quite like that.
Alright.
It's no good you knocking like that.
Why not?
Because I'm on the same side of the door as you.
Can't you let me in from this side of the door? There's a handle.
You might even say the conundrum or riddle.
Yes, I might.
This guy is just memeing her. Why?
There'd be some sense in you knocking if we had a door between us.
Also, I love the ambient track of screaming that they just keep using over and over and over in a loop.
I'm going to sit here until tomorrow.
That's a mood.
I'll just have to do it myself.
That's the spirit.
Good for you, Alice. Let yourself through that door. Be independent. Oh my god. This is the Cheshire Cat. They did Whoopi Goldberg so dirty.
Could you tell me why your cat is grinning at me like that?
It looks like the precursor to the Cats movie. Oh no. There's also this very concerning baby puppet.
And beat him when he sneezes.
I'm sorry, what?
He only does it to annoy.
Jesus Christ. I never liked this segment, even in the book. It's just an unnecessary segment. It's not entertaining. This random stranger tosses Alice her baby, and then all hell breaks loose, and Alice runs out of the house with baby in tow. And then the baby turns into a pig.
When he gets older, he'll make a very ugly child. Or a very handsome pig.
And runs away. So wasn't that a wild ride?
Can you tell me which way to go?
Well, that depends on where you want to get to.
We get more of the Cheshire Cat. Why did they animate her like that? The characters, a lot of them are what look to be a hybrid of puppetry and CG animation. And it's the worst of both worlds at the end of the day, you know? Yeah, when the cat stands up and we kind of see its full profile like this, it's very Cats the movie-esque. I'm sorry.
How do you know I'm mad?
Because you're here.
The Cheshire Cat is my favorite character, though. How do you pronounce it? Do you pronounce it Cheshire, Cheshire, or Cheshire?
Cheshire Puss.
I'm inconsistent with how I pronounce it because I don't know which way is correct.
Which way shall you go? Which path shall you take?
Alright, so there's this little mini song that just kind of sounds like anxious, intrusive thoughts where she's like worried that she's gonna get lost. Poor Alice. And then we get to the Mad Tea Party. The March Hare is the same like blend of puppetry and CG, and then the Mad Hatter is played by Martin Short, but they've made his head artificially big.
Oh, that's different.
And it's a weird thing to look at.
There's a hair in my soup.
There's a soup in front of my hair.
God, you learn something new every day. Make a note of that, Mom.
I do love Martin Short.
Why is the raven like a writing desk?
Why is a raven like a writing desk? You guys know, right? Wait, do I know? I think I know. It's because all of the notes that come out of it are flat.
Clean cups!
Ah, okay.
It tells the day of the month, but not the time.
That is a complicated watch.
Oh, then I rest my case. Well, there.
It's a pun.
Have you guessed the riddle about the raven yet?
His arms extend so long. The first time I watched this, I looked down at my phone for 2 seconds, and I looked back up, and the March Hare had a banjo, and I was really confused.
Up above the world you fly.
That teapot organ is probably completely CGI, but it would be really cool if it was an actual set piece. It looks dope.
So it's always tea time here?
As long as you have tea, it's tea time. Those are my wise words for the day.
Move!
Oh, we're moving again.
Good one.
Another!
I'm not gonna smash my mug. So after surviving this very, very interesting tea party, she heads back to the circular room where she unlocks another door, and she literally goes through the looking glass. You know, because of the Through the Looking Glass, the other book, technically the other half of the you know what I mean. You get it.
The perfect place to hide.
So she's finally in the giant garden of the Queen.
Oh, look out there, Mr. Five. You're splashing paint.
And the cards are painting the roses red. They've got little tiny paintbrushes and are taking their time, considering that this is a life or death situation, apparently.
Left, right.
But along comes the Queen.
I agree entirely.
Don't be ridiculous.
Okay, so the first time I watched this, I thought that this was the king. Apparently he's Jack, like the Jack.
Would I lie to you, Your Majesty?
Yes.
Oh, well, thank you.
But I love him, he's so salty.
Compliments are always welcome.
He's a whole vibe, I love him. Ooh, she yells very loudly and I feel like I'm seeing spots.
Off with their heads.
Queen of Hearts is terrifying. Can we all just agree on that?
Do you play croquet?
You gonna kill me if I tell you no? Because if you are, yeah, I play croquet all damn day.
Nice day.
Oh, it reminds me of that 80s Winnie the Pooh TV show that we covered ages ago. Welcome to Pooh Corner, is that what it's called? With the disconcerting puppet characters? It's a lot. So they play croquet with flamingos and some unsuspecting hedgehogs. Poor hedgehogs. Poor flamingos, too. It's gotta give you a headache being a croquet mallet.
Hello there.
How do you like the game?
The Cheshire Cat just pops back up at random times too. As she's looking down upon us like Luna in Bear in the Big Blue House.
I read it in a book somewhere.
I haven't, but it sounds immoral. It has undertones. That book should be banned.
So the king, who's against freedom of information, goes off to get the executioner.
I'll just go and fetch the executioner.
And then because everybody's looking at the giant floating cat head, it comes up that the cat belongs to the Duchess.
Is this your cat?
So the Duchess comes in immediately, and they accuse her of owning a cat, and then Cheshire Cat disappears. They all go running after her, and then the Duchess glides away with Alice by her side. There's so much that goes on in Alice in Wonderland. I feel like I have to, like, detangle, like, the web of, like, mini stories that happen, you know? Oh, wow, that's horrifying. Rest in peace, Duchess.
We can finish our game before you leave.
Oh, goody. I wanted to play more flamingo croquet. Poor hedgehog got stepped on. Alice gets away, walks off into the giant hedge maze alone.
Hello.
Meets the griffin.
Alice. That sounds familiar.
I actually like the griffin. He's charming.
Rise and shine, old chum.
He wakes up the tortoise, who's played by Gene Wilder, who I adore. Even if I don't know what the hell's going on around him, I will always find him entertaining.
I was a real turtle.
The tortoise is also a huge mood.
We went to school in the same sea, and the master was an old turtle. We called him Tortoise because he taught us.
Oh, I get it now. I love Gene Wilder so much. I could watch Gene Wilder's performances for the rest of my life and be happy.
Don't want to dance on top of a lot of jellyfish, do you?
No, sir, I do not.
You have a line of dancers.
What the hell? What am I looking at? They're dancing sharks and lobsters. It reminds me of Shark Tale, and that's a little concerning. I like his little tortoise dance.
They are waiting on the shingle. Will you come and join the dance?
This song is delightful.
So you like performing then?
No, I hate it.
Oh, you mustn't. It's such fun.
Do any other creators or performers, do you ever get this feeling? I get this all the time. I love performing. I do not like watching myself on camera. It gives me so much anxiety. And I know other people have talked about this before, but like people who don't like perform don't get it, but like it's a thing.
Beautiful soup.
He starts singing about soup. And every time you think the song is gonna end, it doesn't.
Beautiful soup.
But that's okay.
Beautiful soup.
Stop singing the song. Walking through another book, she finds... What does she find? This looks horrific.
Ahoy! She's my prisoner, you know.
Oh yeah, she sees these two knights dueling, and it reminds me of, oh, what was that called? In Between the Lions, there was the segment with the knights that would always duel. Gawain's World, right, I remember that it was yeah, I remember. It reminds me of that. It reminds me of Gawain's World from Between the Lions. But then after the duel, one of the knights rides away, and the other knight is revealed to be Christopher Lloyd.
Oh, I can breathe now.
This man pops up in every 90s movie, I swear to God. Another very talented actor who was on the grind at this particular time. Whoa, he got yeeted.
What does it matter where my body happens to be? My mind goes on working just the same.
I know that feeling, it's brutal.
You look worried. You're too young to worry.
I don't know, sir. I started worrying very young.
You're going home.
I don't want to, but perhaps I should.
You don't want to go home at this point? I would be running for the door at this point. But after the very nice knight with the good advice leaves...
I can talk.
She meets some talking flowers.
When there's anybody worth talking to.
This one's giving off a particularly introverted vibe.
If only her petals curled more.
They start just roasting Alice's appearance.
I thought your face had got some sense on it. Not much, but some.
Ouch, they're meaner than Jane Lynch on The Weakest Link. And then she runs into Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
Tweedledum and Tweedledee agreed to have a battle.
They start trying to annoy her, but then she's just like not having it. She annoys them back.
Here we go round the mulberry bush, the mulberry bush, the mulberry bush.
We've got about another half hour on this movie, and already I am exhausted.
Ta-da!
Oh yeah, they do this terrifying puppet rendition of the walrus and the carpenter, which was always the most terrifying part of Alice in Wonderland anyway for me.
They weren't like anything to see such quantities of sand.
But when they do it like this, it's worse somehow. So yeah, the story of a walrus eating a bunch of poor sentient oysters alive, which is horribly gruesome, and also oysters are a mid-food, so what's the point?
Yes, it's the King of Hearts' lazy, no-good brother. Every family has one, except ours. We've got two.
At least they're self-aware.
Don't mind, he's dreaming about you. You're only a sort of thing in his dream.
Hang on. So she's only a thing in his dream, and he's dreaming about her, but she's in the real world, and so she's real, but that's so confusing. I don't have the brain power, and it's too late at night right now for me to dissect that, so we're just gonna keep moving. Tweedledee and Tweedledum get pissed off at each other for some reason, and then they like suit up to beat the shit out of each other. Fascinating. And then this big terrifying mist that looks like the curse from Once Upon a Time kind of rolls over the land, and Alice goes running.
You are hereby and forthwith summoned to attend the trial of Sir Jack.
And then she gets summoned into court. You remember the big court scene? This is easily one of the more boring and also confusing scenes. And it always has been for me. But in this one, you've got like puppet guinea pigs in the gallery.
How do you spell stupid?
They're wearing tiny little suits.
The knave of hearts, he stole those tarts and took them right away.
Yeah, so the salty knave of hearts apparently ate a bunch of tarts that the queen made, and so now she's trying him on death row. Not an overreaction at all.
It is the face of a habitual criminal.
Where's lawyers for the defense?
I'm sure his chances of getting off are real high. And then the Mad Hatter shows up with the March Hare.
He's got a case of cucumber legs.
You're a fine one to talk, Tubby.
And the Mad Hatter and the Duchess are like throwing shade at each other.
He seems very prejudiced.
Oh, thank you, Alice. That's what makes me so eminently qualified to be a judge.
Oh, yeah.
The justice system in Wonderland is a sham.
Stay calm, Mr. Hatter.
Oh no, I'm not nervous at all.
Twinkle, twinkle, little nut, how I wonder what you're like.
And the Hatter and the Hare start playing music again, and everybody just starts raving, pretty much. I think this is a Wonderland rave. Wonderland rave would be a great name for a band.
Stand your ground, Mr. Hatter.
I love that Alice is just like, you got him, Mad Hatter. You got it, man. Oh no, poor little guinea pig man.
Provided I die by 1 a.m. tomorrow morning.
We'll try and arrange it.
The Harts family is clearly having an interpersonal dispute.
Call Alice.
But then eventually Alice gets called to the stand, and she thinks to eat some of the mushroom that makes her grow taller, and so now she's giant again.
What's the matter, Alice?
Good time to be 10 feet tall and intimidating.
Don't keep shouting off with her head in case someone shouts off with yours.
She starts calling them all out like they're on a reality TV reunion show together.
All the tarts are here, so how could the prisoner have stolen them?
She not only proves that there was no crime, but most importantly, she proves that she has gained confidence on this journey.
Don't you care what people think?
Not when I'm right.
So good for her.
There is no crime.
This court scene is like a really weird case of Judge Judy, I swear to God. Wonderland Small Claims Court.
Then you don't need us anymore.
And so the White Rabbit says, hey, because you're confident now, you don't need us anymore, and she gets transported back home.
I'm back. Sorry I'm late.
Her parents are glad to see her, and then she ends up singing for the entire party anyway.
They are waiting on the shingle, will you come and join the dance?
But instead of singing the song she was supposed to sing, she sings the song that the tortoise taught her.
Will you, won't you join the dance?
We see some quick cuts of all the characters dancing back in Wonderland. Everybody claps. She sees the Cheshire Cat is there and proud of her. And then the movie ends. That's the end of the movie. That was quite a wild ride. I would like to thank everybody who requested this video. It was very fun to cover. I'm gonna see a couple of these characters every time I close my eyes now. But I didn't know this existed, and it actually has a stacked cast. It's really nostalgic to see all of these characters played by all of these people who I didn't even know worked together. So that's really fun. What do you guys think of this? Do you remember this from childhood? Did you watch it when it was on? Did you have it? What do you think about about it. Let me know in the comments down below, but thank you for being here. Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing. Everything you do to support the channel means the world to me. If you're new here and you're a fan of nonsense, maybe consider sticking around because I post nonsense all the time. And remember, my name is Avery. I'm a YouTuber if you say so, because thanks to you guys, this is technically a YouTube channel. Bye!